Anyone here enjoy the marijuana? An over-enthusiastic table right here, and about 33 liars. Because marijuana's changed, like everything else in the culture, you know? Like, I grew up in the 90s in New York City, guys. I had to buy crap weed out of like a drug mule's cornhole, all right? That's what I had to do. But I just went to a dispensary. They're everywhere now. Have you been to one of these? Oh my God, right? I walk in, I'm greeted by like a fairy nymph from Narnia she had wings, glitter came out of her mouth. And she says, "This flower tastes like your family loves you." I said, "What the hell?" Sure enough, I smoked it. Next thing you know, I'm on the phone like, "I love you too, Grandma." I mean, it's weird, guys. You need a prescription to get high in Florida. You gotta qualify. That makes me nervous. I never went to a drug dealer on a South Bronx street corner and have him be like, "Yo, $10 for a dime." But first, you got anxiety, bro? Like, what's going on with you? So I finally go to the doctor, right? And I just want to qualify. I fill out all the forms, you know, and I meet him and I shake his hand. I say, "Doc, as you may be aware, I have a history of..." He goes, whoa, slow down, man. The gummy just kicked in. Hold on, right? His degrees from like DeVry University and Coin Laundry, I don't know what is going on. You can tell this guy anything. He said, "Why are you here? Dengue fever and the hideous boils all over my body. 3 purple haze cookies for the leprosy." What are you talking about? But you know, it's funny that it turns out you don't even need a prescription. Weed is everywhere now. It's a little crazy. I was at this oceanfront cafe recently, right? And I ordered this drink off the menu called the Mind Eraser, okay? Yeah, it was no alcohol. It was just like a little THC, just a little weed in there infused. It was basically berries and pineapples. They were delicious. I gulped down 2 of them, and an hour later, I thought I was a seagull. I talk to birds now. Like, and this waiter didn't say a word to me about the Mind Eraser and its power. Nothing. You know, he's thinking, "Can't wait to see this guy on Cops." Florida man humps a palm tree, says he's a seagull. You know, and magic mushrooms. You ever mess around with that? That's another. That you used to know a hippie with like a greenhouse in his studio apartment to get the right. But here's what happens. So this guy comes over to my house to fix the refrigerator, right? And he's like a Gen X guy like me. And you know, you start chatting with the person, and we're talking music, okay? And he's like, "Yeah, I'm old school, heavy metal, heavy, old school, heavy." And I'm like, "Cool, all right, what are we talking about?" He goes, "Creed." I said, "The Christian rock band? Creed?" I guess Slayer's for wussies, I don't know. And then he pulls out some mushrooms. He's like, you want in on this?" I'm like, "Dude, it's 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. I don't think I want to trip out." And he's like, "No, I just microdose. I said, "Is that why you put my cat in the refrigerator?" But I got busted smoking weed in the 90s when it was still a crime. I was sitting in my dorm, sipping on gin and juice, smoking a fat joint, and there was a knock at the door. By the way, I called Domino's, I got the munchies, and I'm waiting. And first of all, I want to say something about Domino's and all these other places. In my older age, I respect these delivery guys so much. You know, with the little like crappy box on their little Volkswagen running around. You know why? That is, I pull over to the side of the road when I see those guys, because that is the stoner's ambulance, ladies and gentlemen. That is a first responder. Jeremy is out of cookies. This is a code red. And so I'm waiting, and finally there's a knock at the door. But it's some kid in a security outfit going, I'm gonna need to see some ID. And I was like, well, I'm gonna need to see some breadsticks. I don't know what you're talking about. But I still had the lit joint in my hand. Instant court date. Yeah, I had to go to court on this as a kid. And I took it to trial. And the judge actually came back not guilty. Yeah, I know. My own lawyer says out loud, you sure? And the judge says, well, it's a first offense, small amount. You could do some community service at a religious center. And I said, well, Judge, that's perfect. Did you know a lot of people in the good book were getting stoned? And he goes, yeah, they were getting stoned to death, you idiots. I was worried about my dealer, because he was looking at real time, but I said, don't worry, I will definitely see you when you get out, Dad. It's all right, don't worry. His generation was different. Gen X was different. We grew up tough. Kids today grow up soft. I don't get it. I don't know what's going on with the trigger spaces. In the 80s, we grew up tough. My dad sent me out for cigarettes. I came back a day later with untreated rabies, guys. Half wolf. No one cared. You guys remember Stranger Danger? Remember that? My parents told me, if you see a strange man in a van come around and offer you candy, don't take it. You ask for money. Know your worth, goddammit. I don't even know how I'm alive. I ate McDonald's like 8 times a day for years. I grew a McNugget for a nipple. Do you know? My parents left me all day in that halfway house they call McDonald's playground with some guy named Ronald McDonald. He didn't even work there. He just wore red lipstick and smoked cigarettes. Do you guys remember Marlboro Miles? Anybody? Right? So for anyone who doesn't know, that was like the original loyalty program where you get points based on how many cigarettes you smoked, and then you could redeem them for merchandise. And both my parents were total chimneys, you know, and they knew I was trying to attract the ladies. So one year for Hanukkah, they got me this sweet furry jean jacket with a giant red Marlboro cigarette box on the back. Yeah, I was 12, guys. I looked like Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club, But times were different back then, man. I miss it, you know. The 80s, the 90s, whatever. We danced, we smoked, we got loose, you know what I mean? We weren't as offended. I remember even as a kid, we took all these crazy risks riding the bikes around, and only the one retarded kid wore a helmet, you know? Whatever, I felt better wearing one, all right? That's fine. For a long time, my teachers thought that I was dyslexic, and I said, no, you don't understand. It's just that my dad had so many stops for DUI, I learned to say the alphabet backwards. Did you learn, I mean, what did we even really learn in school? Can we talk about that? Like, about life, about making a living, about any of that, you know? I mean, what did even science class, like what did looking up a frog's butthole really have to do with making a living? Like, I just got a phone call, hey, you're late on your car payment. I said, yeah, but did you know frogs have no scrotum? It's a true story. Yeah. Does that cover the debt? I had no life skills. Guys, I studied Shakespeare in college. At my first job interview, they said, can you be here at 9 with the spreadsheet? I said, to be or not to be? Anyone from New York here? No one's from New York, really? The one guy who eats edibles all day. How are you, sir? Okay, where are you from in New York? That does not count at all, but no, you're good. It's, yeah. Now, for sure. But I'm from New York. I lived in LA and Vegas for a long time, but I always kind of kept that New York attitude. You know, like a cop pulled me over recently. He goes, I clocked you doing 50 in a 30. Is there a reason for that? And I said, yeah, I didn't see you. What's with the trick questions? A lot of lovely ladies here in Fort Myers. Ladies, give yourselves a round of applause for dealing with the men you're with. You deserve it. Honestly, I feel sorry for you sometimes because, well, for that, but also you're always getting hit on, you know? It's like a safety issue, really. Men care, but we can't grasp it because we could never be creeped out by a woman. A woman could never creep us out. She could hop out of the bushes and like a sheep with eye holes, swinging a machete. And all we be thinking is, her boobs look perky under there. She's my wife now, yeah. I got married way too early. 43, yeah. It's much better to wait till you're like 70. Because then, till death do us parts, next week. A lot of people are, I've been to a ton of weddings. A lot of people are writing their wedding vows now. Have you guys seen this? I want to share with you my personal favorite. So, like in the heat of the moment, right? The woman's up there and she goes, I promise to love you as long as I can. So what kind of a loophole? I mean, humans, I get, we have a hard time with commitment. I understand that. You know, if I were to ask anyone in prayer, like sometimes I'll ask people how long they've been together, right? And like if a couple says they've been together like 50 years, people clap like they survived a plane crash. Oh my God, they never quit and didn't kill each other. It's an amazing... But it's easy to fall in love when we're young and we're hot, we're as sexy as we're ever gonna be, you know? But it's as an older person now, it's weird for me. Like I'm seeing a lot of young women wearing these Daisy Duke jean shorts now. They are so short, they're like hiked up their butt crack. I'm telling you, I'm not seeing camel toe. We're talking the whole camel, guys. 2 humps. 2 humps right there. It's like, what? And those are the mothers. And it's... Look, the point I'm trying to make is that we have to love each other 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road when the lovely Mary develops a strange syphilis-like rash all over her body and Jake's nutsack starts to sag like a tube sock full of nickels down to his knees. That's love, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. And marriage is all about communication, my wife is constantly reminding me of. Here's what happened the other day. So, like, you know when you're trying to get into something, like I've been trying to get into this program for a long time. It's been really hard to do. And I told my wife, I got this incredible breakthrough news. I told my wife, so excited that night. I was like, honey, you're not going to believe it. Like, my cousin has a friend who works in that office and can hook everything up, like immediately make everything happen. He is the perfect connection. And my wife was so excited, like, oh my God, babe, that's so amazing. Gosh, what a relief. And I said, yeah, the bad news is that guy actually died this year. And she was like, well, how the hell is that good news? And I said, it's not. I just wanted you to experience it the way I did. All right, new material, guys. What can I tell you? But yeah, I felt warmth from the crowd, you know what I mean? I thought of it in the bathroom, what can I tell you? It's weird when you're married though, you get comfortable. Like for a long time, I wore this much thicker kind of 70s porn mustache. And she didn't like it. So I thought, all right, let her see me totally clean shaven. So she's looking, right? She's like, oh, Eric, don't worry, it'll grow back. It's not too bad. I'm like, what you're telling me isn't too bad is my actual face. Thanks a lot. That's like if I saw her naked and went, no honey, I liked you better in that sweater. Don't do that. Yeah, it's, how are you guys married here in the front? The gentleman who's just naturally fit and fiddle, yeah? How long have the two of you been together? 45 years. No claps for 45 years? You just got out on parole, the first 40? It's straight. You ever wonder how your significant other knew you were the one? You ever wonder that? I did. I was curious. I asked my wife that. I said, how did you know that I was the one? And she goes, who said you were? I said, honey, you gotta tell me, how was I special? She goes, yeah, special needs. I know, yeah. But she said no. She thought about it. She contemplated it. And she said, no, Eric, you know, with you, you were different from all the other men that I met and dated because, well, with you it wasn't sexual at all, she said. And I said, I know that is a lie, obviously, because she was on fire to marry a middle-aged Jew with asthma and obstructive sleep apnea who keeps it fresh. Because if she wants it in the middle of the night, she's got to roll over in the dark and try to unclasp all the snaps of the CPAP mask. With that hose, looks like a jet pilot. Who's my little Top Gun? Yeah. It's, there's my CPAP brother right. I know you're, come on baby, give me a little love. And one last thing. I never realized, just because we're married, like my wife still gets hit on. You know, just because we're married, that doesn't stop. So here's what happened. Recently, we went to a party, right? And we met this guy. And he winds up texting her a penis pic. Yeah, a pic of his penis. I know, it was well lit. With the hairy eggplant and berries and everything. And she shows it to me all proud. Like, look, I still got it. I said, you do? Know what else? I got the same text. All right, guys.